now it's a team that you guys know very well, CONCACAF team, Panama. But besides what you've seen of them by playing them, did you see something against Uruguay that maybe caught your eye?
Yeah, I can speak to our recent history against Panama. Obviously, I think they obviously beat us in the Gold Cup semifinal last year with a pretty good performance. They bring man-to-man pressure. They're a team that has a lot of really talented players and athletes, and it's to be expected a physical game, really competitive, and obviously the scoreline was 3-0 at one point, 3-1 in the end, but that didn't really have that drastic of a feel to it in the game. So we know how good Panama is, and it's going to be a real test for us.
Steve.
One question for each guy. I'll start with Tim, if possible. What have you seen from Christian in terms of his leadership and his assertiveness in the past year or so, or since the World Cup? What do you think has changed with Christian?
I think with Christian, he's just been great overall. I mean, he shows up when we need him. He's definitely an example on and off the field. He's one of the older guys now, so he takes that responsibility. I'm just happy to be able to share the field with him and experience life and our careers together. I think that's dope. And he just, someone who's very quiet, but someone who you really respect, and he's definitely a positive leader for us.
For Matt, tell us some stories about Johnny, your set piece coach, and how the players interact with him, and what he's brought to the team over the last 6 months or so.
Yeah, I think he's just got so much experience. He's won the Euros with Italy. He's been all around at some of the top clubs in Europe, and he just brings like a little bit of a relaxed nature. But when he believes, because of his experience, he has so much belief in us as players to take ownership in big moments. It's a really good feeling, and it's a reassuring feeling. So I don't have any specific stories off the top of my head, but for us, he's an important piece of what we're trying to build, and we know how important set pieces can become down the stretch, especially in these tight contests.
Thanks.
Paul.
This one, if you could both answer, would be great. When you guys were in Qatar, you were in just one hotel and one base camp. You didn't have to move because of obviously a small country. This is a tournament that, in a way, outside of the field is a dress rehearsal, in that you're going from city to city, hotel to hotel. How has that changed kind of just the day-to-day for you guys? And does it alter at all how you think about recovery and things like that when you're going from city to city versus the last World Cup when you got your first tournament experience, that it was just one spot?
All I really have to say is it's a looser environment, obviously, because we're moving around. We're back on home soil, so in free time, some guys like to get out and go for walks and things like that, which is a lot different to what we had in Qatar. And I think it's really been great. I think we all know our responsibilities. We're all mature enough to handle the situation that we have now, and we're just going with the flow and making sure that we're present on game day.
Yeah, it's a definitely different environment, a lot more, and I think you said dress rehearsal. I think, yeah, in some ways it's good to have the experiences of what it's going to be like going from city to city in a big tournament, because people reach out, they want to come see you play, they want to see you when you come to the cities, but at the same time, it's only 3 or 4 days in between games. So for some people it's great, and they can compartmentalize really well, and they're going to figure out what works for them, what doesn't work for them. Others like that structured environment, like being away from it all. So it's been nice to have families around, kids around, just to spend time with them and just have a little bit of, you get out of that pressure cooker for a second, but then you're back into it. And I think that we all hold each other accountable in our locker room about making sure that the training's good and the games are even better.
Front row.
Hello, Gerardo Lopez from Gerardo. For Tim, there are some journalists in Spain, Argentina, Uruguay saying that there is a more offensive approach in your game tactics, and they are kind of surprised because of it. Do you feel that way, that there is some sort of evolution in a more offensive style? And or it's just a consequence of continuing with Greg's project since 2019?
Honestly, we're honestly just sticking to the plan. We've had this game plan since day one. We stay true to it. We're intentional with the way that we play. We're a team now that understands each other, and I think we're starting to see that a lot more as we're getting into these other games and as we're getting older as a group. I think it's just a beautiful thing to see us growing as a unit, as a family, and we're starting to show it on the field. We just have to continue having positive performances. And
In the back.
Thank you guys for both taking the time. This question's for both of you, if you don't mind. Welcome to Atlanta. This is a city that's become really important on the soccer map. The National Training Center is being built here, opening in a year and a half. What do you guys think about the city and about this becoming a more important location for y'all's journey on the national team and in soccer in this country?
Yeah, it feels good to be in Atlanta. I've played in MLS for a number of years, and this is one of the away games you didn't really ever want to play, especially when they first came into the league. So we know that the fan turnout at Mercedes-Benz for Atlanta United is really good, and we're hoping to see some of that and feel that energy from the crowd on Thursday night. We saw that they had a pretty good turnout for the Argentina-Canada game, so we're hoping for some of the same for us. Yeah, I think it's a great city, a lot of potential, and we're really excited for the future, what that National Training Center holds, and having that home base is going to feel really, really good.
I pretty much have the same answer, honestly. Atlanta's a progressive city. I think the training center is going to be in a perfect place for all of us. We're all pretty much East Coast boys. So, I see myself in the future kind of investing in Atlanta as well. Either getting land out here, building a house, so that my family could be close when I come back to.
Or his
training.
music career, one of those.
It's not a bad call.
Jeff.
Now that you've had a chance to kind of digest the Bolivia results a little bit more, I mean, what kinds of things would you like to improve on and kind of build some momentum as the tournament goes on, in particular for Panama?
I think we have to be more opportunistic. I think when our chances come, obviously we scored our first chance of the game, but yeah, just making sure we can really take the moments that we have, especially in tournament play, and put games away when we have the opportunities to, and also at the same time, taking care of the ball a little bit better. We talked about being more expansive and playing more free-flowing attacking, and at the same time that comes with risks on counterattacks and giveaways and where we are. I think we learned that lesson in a pretty harsh way in the Colombia game. So yeah, just making sure that we're in tune with each other, feeling the games out, feeling where spaces are, and as much as we do have a plan going into games, also being the players that we are and looking for all the other alternatives on how to solve problems that arise within games.
We'll take some questions virtually and begin with Doug Roberson.
Thank you. This is for either of you, please. The
You got it.
field you're going to play on Thursday has been down for, it'll be 11 or 12 days by the time y'all get on there on Thursday. I'm curious if you have any concerns about that and if you've seen the field yet.
No, I haven't really seen the field yet. No concerns at all. We take it as it comes. We came from Dallas. Dallas was amazing. The field was amazing. The atmosphere was great.
Really good.
So I think expectations are really high for Atlanta. We're just eager to get started.
Continue with Doug McIntyre.
Thanks, Michael. Hey, guys. Thanks for doing this. The question's for you, Tim. You've known Jedi for a long time. You debuted within a couple of months of each other. Do you remember the first time you met him and what your impressions were of him, and how has he changed in the years since? Thanks.
Actually, don't. I have a bit of memory loss. Nah, but Jedi's one of my closest friends on the team. He's always been great from day one. His work ethic is literally it's sick to be honest. He's a tank. He's a machine. So working with a guy like that day in day out is wonderful. He keeps me on my toes. We're usually going against each other at training, which is really fun. Hard competition, which is great for me as an attacker who wants to improve and build on everything that I'm working on. So having Jedi as competition and also as a teammate has been amazing.
Next is Charlie Bone.
Hey guys, this is one that I hope you'll both answer. In reading and kind of seeing the reactions to the Panama match, I wanted to ask you guys about this because I guess there's a little bit of sense that maybe you guys left goals on the table and some people feel like you could have or should have scored more. And it seems like maybe you're into champagne problems where winning isn't good enough anymore. Maybe this is a sign of the program's evolution. I wonder what you guys think of that, and if you have the luxury maybe of thinking at that level about these games.
No, we'll never have that luxury. I think you take wins when you get wins, no matter the context. I think the result, especially in tournament play, is the end-all be-all. And I implore people to not lose sight of that. I think anytime you can win a game in a worldwide competition and a big time tournament, it's good for the program, it's good for us. So yeah, obviously we wish we did some things better, but that's what tournaments are about. You want to improve and get better throughout the tournament and keep growing as a team and a bond and a culture. So yeah, as much as we could have done things a little bit differently, at the end of the day we got a clean sheet, we scored 2 goals and we won, and going into this next match we know we might have to be a little bit better if we want to win that game as well.
Next will be Marlon Hyde.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Hope all is well. My question is, again, I'm based in Atlanta, so it's about just what are some of your thoughts going into this match in Atlanta? Some of the fans you mentioned already. What has been some of your interactions like with the city itself as well? And yeah, what do you look forward to most out of the next match?
Got that, bro.
Yeah, we've been here for probably a grand total of 24 hours so far. Had a nice time over at the training facility today. It's beautiful there, and we don't have a ton of time to explore the cities when we come to them, especially in this environment. But I can speak to times in the past where I've come in, and again, you just feel the energy from the city about soccer, and that's a really good feeling when you're coming in to play such a big game. People really do care. They care about the result. They care about how the team is performing. They know the players, and all that stuff feels really nice. You're not getting random questions in the elevator about what college do you play for, what sport do you play. People are aware of what's going on, and that's a really good feeling. So we're happy to be in Atlanta. We're happy to be able to call it home in the future, and yeah, we look forward to seeing the fan turnout on Thursday night.
Do 2 more questions. Continue with Donald Wine.
Thank you. Hey, gentlemen, thank you for your time. This question is for either one of you who wants to answer. With Panama, obviously, it's a team you've seen quite a bit in the past. You've seen them in tournaments. You've seen them in local qualifying, friendlies. Most times, tournaments are a little bit more open as far as game of play. It's not a lot of chippiness or tightness when it comes to how the game is played. But against Panama, you guys have had those type of matches, especially away in Panama. Are you prepared for either one on Thursday? Are you prepared for a more open game where it's more free-flowing, or are you prepared for for lack of a better word, the CONCACAF-iness that usually comes with playing Panama?
That's insane. Honestly, I think we're in the situation that we're in. We're less worried about Panama right now. We don't know which Panama team we're going to get. We're just going to make sure that we come out 100% and not take anything for granted. Put all our cards on the table and make sure we execute in the way that we want to execute. Obviously, we know what Panama is capable of, and we just have to make sure we're on our A game and, yeah, execute properly.
We'll finish in the room with Michele.
Thank you, Michael. Matt, you already gave a taste of what I want to follow up or ask. Seeing the results in the tournament, like yesterday, Brazil against Costa Rica, do you feel that it's been underestimated, the win against Bolivia? In the sense of, you beat Bolivia just 2-0.
Yeah, I think that's part of what I'm a little bit of referring to in some ways, because again, it's the tournament play. You never know what's going to happen. You've seen some craziness even today in the Euros, where Austria then leapfrogs everybody and wins their group, and the Netherlands is going through in the 3rd spot. So it's crazy. You just have to take care of what's in front of you, and I think the most important thing is building off of what you just did. So if the teams that can continuously get better throughout the tournament. If I remember correctly, the team that won the last World Cup didn't win their first game in the tournament. So, we have that platform now. We have that baseline of what it takes to win a game in this tournament, and now we need to one-up it against a different opponent, a different similar style of play, but obviously different personnel. Players playing at the highest levels all over the world, and Panama's a really, really good side. And again, like Tim said, we're going to need our A game if we're gonna want to win that game.